Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the show. I'm Jay Blaze.
I'm Bobby Summers.
And we're bringing...
What we're bringing?
Opinionated conversations on a variety of topics from perspectives that really don't matter on... The Everything Obsolete Podcast.
What up, y'all? Welcome to the pod. We back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Everything Obsolete Podcast. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. That's Jay Blaze. You know I'm Bobby Summers, and we started season 2 right at the beginning of the West Side summer. Technically not, but it's already been 100 degrees for the past...
Today is like 110.
110 out here for the new way that we're going to run this podcast, y'all. We talking about IRL.
You sounded Jamaican for a minute.
Jamaican? No.
It's 112.
It's 112 degrees, man. But yeah, we're out here. We're going to pod real quick. This is
and
a perfect...
the low is 76.
So that means it's beautiful right now. So, you know, we're not technically in our summer, but when it's over 100 degrees most of the afternoon, you already know.
Air quality is good. It's 42.
It's actually beautiful right now being at 112 degrees.
Yeah, but we're chilling on
But by next month, it's not going to be so. But again, this is the podcast. Our theme song is coming back. Don't worry about it if you missed it. We got something for when we turn this whole thing into the VOD. Definitely going to hear Jay Blaze's voice. But we want to spend some time on the pod for the first episode for season 2. Talking about how we're going to set off our new IRL themed pod. So we're going straight with it live every episode for the whole season 2, wherever we're at. And right now we find ourselves in a good vibed area, and we live. And we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a little fun with it. We're gonna talk about setting up the pod real quick. We got some sports news that I know she definitely want to talk about. I don't know if we're going far back as the Warriors losing in the playoffs, but we definitely gonna go talk about this championship run these 2 finals teams is in. Probably a little bit of entertainment. I know she saw the Tonys. I saw the BET Awards.
I saw the BET Awards.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I didn't see the Tonys though, so I'm not going. I didn't know you saw the BET
I only
Awards.
saw the Tonys because my daughter loves Hamilton, so they were doing,
I heard.
They were doing a Hamilton skit.
I heard the Hamiltons kind of ran with it. Like they were like kind of like the main thing of it, or no?
Well, because it might be a 10-year run or something like that, or I don't know.
So it was a big deal that they were there.
It was a big deal. But it was considered like a remix. So they weren't all in their costumes. They all kind of wore black. I don't know. But that was pretty much the first time I ever seen the Tonys. The Tonys is based on Broadway shows and stuff like that. But my daughter is a very big Hamilton production fan.
She could recite it back to front, front to back.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, we got to talk about that a little bit, just the 2 ways that we saw the award shows. Then we'll end it off with a little bit of entertainment, movies, stuff like that. I know there's a couple of bangers out there that we could talk about, so we'll bring that up. But we just start right off real quick with the Everything Obsolete Podcast. Doing what, like voiceovers for our theme, our intro and outro. We actually have the paper right here. We're not gonna do that right now, but we got the rewritten word for word intro and outros so that we could do voice records, send it over to the editor. Big shout out to my editor Hamad over there in the Middle East. You heard? He's gonna do all that editing, but we gotta redo our vocals for our added to the intro and outros of the live show. I also wanted to bring something up about how, so I gotta really get Jay into this. I know when the ball gets rolling, she's good with it, but when we pause, she's good. She's good with pausing the whole time. Like she don't want to come, but she don't mind not coming back and doing this. She don't even do the editing part. So last season, anything you saw, I did the editing myself. That shit is hard work, 100%. So once we put a pause to that, it's real easy to just fall back and be happy that we just did a season of about 8 episodes. We actually did 9. We have one in the bank.
Which is what?
With Derek Cruz with Corner Culture.
Yes.
Big shout out to my man Derek Cruz with Corner Culture, the entrepreneur himself. Don't think we forgot about you. We will be throwing in that episode that we recorded in the middle of this year's season 2's run. But what I wanted to bring up to you was to keep you in the zone and in the moment, because if we're doing this like on some summer shit, like we're gonna stop and we won't do this. Season 3 will be next summer.
Yeah, because winter's for cuddling.
Winter's for cuddling? Or we... Hold on.
Yeah, because you said only summer, right? You only do it during the summer.
Well, yeah, but if you think about it, the summertime is cuddling season for us.
No, it's not. It's too fucking hot.
Yeah, but you're gonna be under the covers in the AC.
No, I'm not on the covers on the AC.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
If you think about it though, cuddling season in the west side is during the summer, because we're hiding in the covers under the AC, and in the east side it's the winter time. But anyway, but I wanted to really
Phoenix is playing.
What?
Phoenix is playing the Aces right now.
Oh, that's a good game. But we'll talk about that in sports. But real quick, to keep us in that flow, if you think about it, we're running this Netflix type fucking organization of crime, of syndication. You shoot 8 episodes out and then you don't see people for a year and a half.
Hibernation.
Right? Doesn't Netflix work like that? Or do Apple TV, all that stuff, no? They'll give you a season and then season 2 won't come out for till the following year.
No, that's some crime shit.
But that's what we're doing.
Yes. I don't know. Depends.
We only have 1 season. We dropped it last year.
No, but you're comparing it to different.
We literally dropped it a year ago. We ended season 1 at the beginning of the summer, and we're starting season 2 at the beginning of this summer. I like it. We're giving y'all a good full 8.
One of the last episodes we did by the poolside.
Yeah, poolside was. That sounds right. That was it. That was right during the ending of the finals and all of that, of the NBA finals, I should say.
So you won't be able to shout out this place.
Well, I don't want to, because you never know.
Yeah.
But we're in a nice, cool vibe area. You see the mist flowing in the back. We're giving you a hot 8 episodes, 9 because we're sneaking in that one in the bank, and we'll catch y'all on the other side of that. But I'm really excited about just giving you this year's 8 episodes, and we're gonna roll from that right into some sports shit. Like, where do you want to begin with the sports take? Do you want to go as far back as how the playoffs kind of started and ran into the finals, or do you want to just talk about what's popping off in the finals right now?
Well, there's only 2 teams left to
Two-
win the chip.
2 teams left, right? Oklahoma and Indiana,
OKC.
right? Old school Seattle. So what we're gonna?
Scoop Seattle.
Old school Seattle, right? That's what it is. So that's why Westbrook and all of them are connected to that. You know what I mean? Like, but really, KD, because he played. I think Westbrook got to play for Seattle too, but KD got to play for Seattle. I don't know. You going for Oklahoma? Indiana's playing great.
Yeah, they're
fucking
balling
basketball.
out.
They ball.
They're balling. They are the sleeper. They're the sleeper team.
I understand you. I'm with you.
Because nobody ever would have thought that they would get this far, and they're playing against the number 1 seed of the NBA.
That's a real team, right? Like team.
Well,
a closed fist.
Yeah.
They're really a closed fist.
Yeah, but they're not to say that they're not part of the top 10 teams of the league, especially this year in general. Like,
I don't know if they were they? I think they were fourth in the East.
Yeah, so of course they are.
Yeah, they probably
They weren't playing material. They were already playoff.
Playoff team. Yes,
exactly.
yes.
So
I get it. So, but they're playing great. Now, I mean, obviously, OKC was playing great all year
Of
long.
course, they're the number one team.
In the NBA, that's what they had the best record, right? Or was it happened to be Cleveland, or was OKC who squeezed it out?
It was OKC. Cleveland disappointed. I'm sorry.
In the playoffs, they definitely disappointed. See, that's why I said, did you want to go back and take a look at what happened? Because if we talk about Cleveland,
yeah, but once you start putting these two teams that are left
in
to
Boston,
do or die, Boston, that's another team.
That's another
team.
I'm with you.
Championship team that didn't even get to the second round or third round. Like, that's a little
disappointing.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I don't know. I'm used to seeing same teams go head to head.
That's true. It's like
dynasties. There's no dynasties like that.
I mean, I don't know if I understand 100% what you're saying. It's not that the teams are dynasty teams, but that the fact that they are contending
all
year
the time
after
against
year.
the same team.
So when you don't see certain teams get to where they're like, what happened? I mean, even though Tatum got hurt, that wasn't stopping. The Knicks were owning them. The Knicks kind of overachieved.
Not anymore, because they broke up the coach.
And that's it, though. They got rid of people,
No, but
not yet.
If they want to be able to contend again, they're gonna have to get some type of help.
I agree.
OKC, I don't know if they win this championship. All those young cats are gonna have to.
They all deserve $200 million.
Yeah.
So that team is, but they're all on their original contracts, except Shea. Shea might be the only one that's on a past his rookie contract, with the young core. But he's the one that's gonna be he's gonna demand the $300 million.
And then Jalen Williams go to school here.
In Arizona, yeah, he's a Wildcat, but he's gonna get $100+ million. Chet is gonna get $100+ million. Dorton is probably gonna get at least almost $100 million. There's no way they're gonna be able to stay together for another 4 years unless they agree to all take less money. Which, if you think you got it, it's hard because you're young
and you got it.
But if you're trying to get rings, so it depends on your mindset. Being 22 years old and it's time for me to get paid. I understand. So either way, that team has some decisions to make, whether they win or not. It's not even about winning anymore. They could win. Indiana, looking good. Do I see them doing this year after year after year? No, I do not. Live on EOP. I do not see them doing that. So like their coach said, I don't know if you caught their coach say that the Knicks ran into a team that's on a magical run. Did you? I don't know if you heard coach say that. And those are tight. The Pacers coach. And he's won chip before with Dallas, right? And he's also been to the chip before with Indiana as an assistant coach with Larry Bird. So he knows that his team right now is on a magical run, and I like that. So do I see them doing this all the time? No. OKC, you can see them doing this 3-4 more years in a row.
If they're with the same people.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's hard. It's hard.
But there's a lot going. There's so much movement, and then this year alone,
they already started moving horns.
Memphis got rid of people already, besides coaches.
And when is the deadline? When is not the deadline?
It's coming up.
Like the end of June, yeah.
It's coming up.
So why did this happen?
Say that again?
Why did this just happen now, today?
I don't understand.
With the Grizzlies.
Because they were able to make the move. They decided to do it.
Oh, so you can do that before there's...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I thought there's a certain time and date that things...
No, but maybe everything lined up. Money, player, everything was perfect.
Yeah, but I thought regardless of what, there's a specific day that, like a deadline.
No, that day already passed. The finals, for the players that are still in it, yeah, you gotta wait. They're still in it. You can't trade a nigga right now.
Well, no, yeah.
So the two teams that are in it right now, they're good. They're good. So someone like KD, that's why you hear all the talk about him getting traded. Because KD is...
Then the decision has to be made...
on that day.
Oh, okay, I got that.
You feel me? So with that being said, like KD's on the move. Who else is on the move? There's a lot of free agents, like big names, like big men. Centers like Adams, the center for Houston with the long hair, used to be on OKC. He used to play with KD, the one that everybody knows is strong. He's from Australia. Adams. You don't know, is that with the mustache, strong tattoo with the tribal tattoo on his arm? He could pick you up and put you down with one hand. You don't know what I'm talking about? You do know with the long hair, he keeps it in a bun, the man bun.
He plays for Memphis?
No, right now he plays for Houston.
Yes, with Jalen Green.
Yeah, right now he plays for them, but he's a free agent. But he did play for Memphis, and he did play for OKC.
Yeah, I know.
But he's a free agent. But he's a free agent, and he could dip out whenever, you know what I mean?
I don't know if you know. I don't know if you saw this. I don't know if it's true or not. But I saw something about like DeMarcus Cousins got banned out of playing for
Puerto Rico. Yeah, because I saw the incident.
He had like an incident with a fan or something like
so
that.
Somebody was talking trash in the front row, and he ran up on them, and
I like DeMarcus.
he grabbed his genitals and through the middle, because homeboy was putting his middle fingers at him. But homeboy was saying shit to him too, but putting his middle fingers at him. And
personal shit probably.
so he just went up to him and he put his middle finger in his face back.
Yeah, because I doubt of a person like that, professional person, adult, who's been in situations, who's just gonna do that on the arm. Obviously somebody got something.
Yeah, and you caught him in the heat of the moment too. He apologized. Like he was like, yo, Puerto Rico, I have so much fun and respect for y'all in the island. But you in the heat of the moment, you balling, man. Niggas, and you got some front row fan talking shit to you. You gonna fucking react to you know what I mean? You're not gonna be. What you gonna do? A fan is saying, oh, fuck you. You're just gonna sit there? No, you're gonna react. So that's what he did. I saw that too. Then you got other decisions being made, like Warriors Kuminga. He's looking for like
to keep
he's in that 80 million range, 100 million range too. So it's hard to keep people. I mean, who?
My fear for him is you go to a different team, you're not gonna be starting five.
Well, I think he is. If he goes to
if you go to a real shitty ass team.
No, but I mean, you don't gotta be shitty. It could be Detroit. It could be Memphis. They just got rid. You know what I mean? There's many teams that can fight for a playoff spot.
Look, Jordan Poole went to fucking Washington Wizards.
Oh, and they talking about him. He has a chance he might make a revisit back to the Bay. I've heard talks. I'm telling you, I've heard the talks.
I heard that talk too.
So what's wrong with that? Why would you shoot that down?
Because it's just like logically not like possible. Like you got Draymond Green who punched the nigga in the face.
What do you mean? But Draymond is ready to run out the door. Jordan has another 12 years in the NBA.
Well, they could have worked that out before.
No, because Draymond before had 5 years left in the league.
I don't know. That got to be worked out outside of the basketball world in order for it to work within the basketball world. You know?
Nah, that's not true. You don't got to be friends with your teammates. Kobe and Jordan weren't friends with their teammates for a long time.
Yeah, that's a different era, though.
True.
It's different now.
I don't think you need to be buddy though with everybody on the team. Yeah, if y'all real brothers, y'all gonna have arguments and fight.
Yeah, but then that would say that.
And they did this after they won.
Kevin Durant would put shit aside and go back to the Warriors.
But KD is more influenced by the fans. It's facts. I'm not saying something that he's gonna say no. I doubt that right now the way Kevin Durant is mature enough right now, not 6 years ago. Right now, he's mature enough to be like, yeah, I do get at the fan, and the fans are part of it. They're part of the puzzle. But I don't want to hear him say, oh, but that's for everybody. No, for you, it's a big part of your puzzle, and it's very easily seen. You can see it. If you're a real basketball watcher and player and really love the game, you could see that KD is influenced by the fan off the court, and he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be. It shouldn't matter that much. Now, because no matter what, he can't be a regular person. He just can't be a regular person because he is KD.
I was scrolling through Instagram a little while ago and I saw like a clip. I guess something about, Kyrie Irving was like live podcasting or whatever. but I think Tracy McGrady mentioned something about somebody else has better handles than Kyrie Irving, and I don't know who he was referring to. I can't remember, but Kyrie Irving was like, but he basically learned from all these old veterans.
Kyrie himself?
Yeah, he said it himself. He's like, I wouldn't be who I am
without the OGs,
without all those people,
especially Raj Strickland.
Learning. Yeah, because like I do a little bit of everything, and learning from those people put me.
But that's subjective. You could have that's a regular opinion. That shouldn't get nobody mad. KD, people get at KD, and it's probably a lot about coming to the Warriors, and that's the itch or the niche, but. Again, he fit in so well with the Warriors, and that's what got haters and fans in their fields, because he fit in so effortlessly with that team. You know what I mean? And it blew up the NBA.
And he was what? And he was 30 or a little younger than 30?
Yeah, because by now. Yeah, that was like 6 years ago.
Now?
6 years ago, he left the Warriors. Think about it.
So what is he now, though?
He's like 35. He's about 36.
So maturity has a lot to do with that too.
He was like in the past like 4 or 5 years is when he, after that burner account shit. You know what I mean? Where he and he was like, yeah, I had a burner account, and now he speaks as him, and that's the best part of him that I like. The fact that he does speak as him now, no matter what.
He should have always done that.
But exactly. But then that's the backup I have of him being influenced by the fan. Because even now that he speaks as him, he's still like, everybody doesn't
need the noise instead of listening to
and if he does it for entertainment, fine. That's beautiful. But like you said in the interview a long time ago, you KD and we know it. Play ball. You're one of the best players to ever do it.
That's all you gotta worry about.
Yeah, man. Worry about
just
ball.
Keep your consistency.
Don't gotta worry about this obsolete. The podcast is obsolete. Everything is obsolete except what you do. So it don't even matter.
Just do what you're doing and do it well.
And let's go into WNBA while we talking about basketball.
The Aces.
Well, the Aces is
the Valkyries, the Golden State Valkyries.
Golden State. I think we might have talked about that last season. That they were coming, and now they're here and they're 500. They're 500. We like that Golden State shit like that they have their own team. We still ace. We still. Yeah, we still run with them Aces. That's kind of like our team. Because when Vegas first got them, we were excited that Vegas had a women's basketball team. So we jumped on that, and then they happened to become one of the best teams in the league. That's all by happenstance. We weren't fans after the fact.
Well, they set their mark and they conquered. So
but every team does that. I mean, even an NBA team. That's why. After the fact, if a team under or overachieved. But to say like Indiana, they overachieved. They made it to the finals. They didn't overachieve. What does every team say at the beginning of the year? What they want to do? Win a championship. So if you're there, you didn't overachieve.
I mean, that's the whole goal, right?
The goal. Thank you.
But for them not being one of the top 5 teams to talk about, because you're not a top 5 team city.
You're talking about as an analyst or something.
Yeah, just like even.
But every team's still goal is to make it to the chip. So if you make it to the chip, you didn't overachieve. That was your goal, and you made it.
Yeah, of course. But you want the underdogs to win, because that's how it should be.
I remember if Indiana is the underdog, we remember a lot of people, a la Jordan, a la Dirk Nowitzki, a la Steph Curry. They were all underdogs in their first chips. You know what I mean? And Dallas actually lost. Dirk lost his first chip because he got there twice. I think he lost his first one, and then he won against Miami, right? But with the WNBA, that's not even. And then what about unrivaled? the 3-on-3.
Oh, that happened.
That happened, and the women just conquered that whole 3-on-3 thing in the
year
middle.
Was crazy. 2024 to 25
was a
crazy with
good
the Olympics and then the women and just the WNBA just like reaching
new heights.
Yeah, just new standards and just more phenomenon in the league. Like I think every year from here on out, it's just gonna grow for them. And they're just gonna revenue and get more sponsors and
well,
now
if,
it's like
if Unrivaled could do it, they could do it. So it's all good. You know what I mean? Like Unrivaled did it in one season. They even
all
threw
these
in
little tournaments.
yeah, they threw in a 1v1 tournament right before the end of their season.
And Liberty winning and like New York winning a championship and not it being a man's team is crazy.
No, the New York Liberty that won last season. So, which is crazy you brought that up because this year they were undefeated until yesterday. They lost against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, and that was Caitlin Clark's first game back after like 10 games missed from injury. She dropped 32 and beat the Liberty and gave them their first loss, handed them their L for the season. So everybody has been beaten so far. Aces were clawing at it a little bit. They're starting to pick up. They're above 500. They might be like 5-3 or 6-3. Asia got hurt. She got a concussion. Paige Beckers with the Dallas Wings had a concussion.
Reese just got manhandled today.
Reese today got her first triple-double. This is what's going live is all about because we could be like in real time tell you some shit. So I'm really feeling this live shit.
And then tomorrow's game 5?
Tomorrow's Monday. Tomorrow will be game 5 of the NBA Finals. I think that's a big game.
That's a huge game.
Because
most likely, right?
Yeah, most likely that winner is gonna win the chip.
I'm ready for OKC. They're the number 1 team.
No. You going for OKC or Indiana?
I'm going for OKC.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
Went for Shea.
I didn't know underdog is Indiana though. And if you like Indiana, if you like underdogs, you kind of like Indiana too.
The fact that they're still in it to win it, they're not fucking down zip.
They actually won games.
This is a contending team. Like this is a series.
I heard. I can't remember who was which analyst, but there's times like especially in the finals where a team could win a couple of games like Indiana has, and they're still not in. Like they have no chance of winning the finals.
Oh, I don't see this in this.
But this, you could see that Indiana.
They're all hungry. They're both hungry.
So, but do you get that? Does that make sense?
No,
that a team
totally
could win 1 or 2 games but they had no chance of winning the finals.
It's something like Draymond would say. You're hungry, right? You're in that every game.
Nobody's a winner. Nobody's has a ring.
Any of those teams? I don't.
Maybe. I don't think so.
Indiana got vets, like championship vets.
I don't think so. Besides their coach.
We're not talking about coaches.
Players,
bench, role players, whatever. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think OKC does either.
I don't either.
So they're
they
full
hungry.
throttle. Yeah,
they full throttle. They going in. They like I want this chip.
They're street balling.
They both.
I'm hungry. I want that bag at the end of the day.
Ooh, talk about it. Bag.
But that's the good thing about this series is a battle. So it's not like, when we look at series in the past and it's always the same rivalry or ex-rivalries or teams, that are always up there, like a New York, Chicago, LA, major city type
These are
of
definitely
teams.
2 different teams.
Yeah, these are not like major city teams. They're going at it, and they're playing like they're hungry, and they're playing like they.
If OKC wins, this is the first time in their franchise that they'll have a chip. Even though they're from Seattle, it comes. But as
I know
Oklahoma,
they broke down that Yeah,
It'd be their
but
first
still,
time. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's a big accomplishment
hell
for their
yeah, they locked in
organization.
history.
Especially because they're all young. Especially the commodity that team has.
Camaraderie.
Whatever.
Camaraderie.
Yeah.
It's off the charts. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
with
all,
you.
like just off the ending of a game, they all come together. They all on the broadcast.
Even, but it's not just this year or in the finals.
No,
They've been doing that.
But that's what they
stick it together. I'm telling you. They're like Indiana.
and
they're
don't,
a close fist.
They don't hide their pride against you. You know what I'm saying? Like they uplift each other. Like they know without one,
they can't do it
without the other. And
but they still hold Shy as their man.
yeah,
you can see it.
He's their leader, he leads them and he holds them accountable, and vice versa, right? So that's how it should be. That's a kind of decent team. I like that team.
I like the team.
The humbleness, come on.
That's a good team for these young.
I think that's a good team even for young kids
to grow with.
Yes.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
It's a great team to be a fan of right now. As
and
a young
look
kid.
Up as role models.
Yes.
Because they're not into that hoopla, that drama.
I can see we would have liked them.
Of course.
We would have liked
because they're humanity, they're fucking
same thing with Memphis. Memphis before everything hit, all the drama hit. Memphis was rolling, and I feel like when we were younger, we would have liked, that was a team we would have liked their vibe.
Yeah, like Golden State's a different breed too compared to other teams too.
But now we're older. You know, our superstars are older, so it's a little different.
Yeah.
But
because they also have a piece of the old school.
They're locked in though every game, and young players, they're not locked in. They just ball. And I don't think, as you become older and as a vet, you don't lock in. But you could tell when a veteran player like LeBron, Steph, Kawhi Leonard, you could see that lock in.
Yeah, but every team has like their little things. There's always like a showboater. There's always somebody who's outspoken.
No doubt, but a team like OKC, they're still balling off athleticism.
Yes.
They're not balling off of
they're
intelligence.
Enjoying and loving what they do.
I'm not saying they're not intelligent, but I'm saying that's
and
not.
I'm not saying that any other player on an NBA team ain't enjoying what they're that's their job either.
Exactly.
But it's just different.
I'm with you.
It's just different. It's just different.
I get it.
They're young and they know they could do it and they're doing it, and if they fail, they'll try again. A lot of the other teams who've been with each other for a long time, they know their end to a certain extent, and they know if they're in a rebuilding stage and what that looks like and what that might look like and what the expectations of that is. And there's
when again the young dudes are just balling.
Yeah, there's no worries and
there's not up and young coming teams like Houston. And Houston played great even though we beat them.
But there's egos. So when you have certain teams have a lot of egos, and when there's egos involved, then that's
hard. That makes it difficult.
Yes, and it makes chemistry hard, and it makes going the long haul hard, and injuries. When you have injuries throughout the season, and then towards the primary time of the season, that causes tension too, because then it's like who picks up the slack and who's the man and who,
Yeah.
like Golden State, Jimmy Butler, he got traded, right?
It's easy for the vets to just suck them in.
Like you see the commodity there, you see the mold there.
But it's because of the vets. If the younger dudes
but
were
you
there,
see that come next season, that could be even grander than what it was towards this season, because there's more time. And
the only problem is it's a year older.
Yes.
That's the only problem.
Or half a year older.
No, regardless, you're a year older. This comes next year, you'll be a year older. And that's the only problem you see in that puzzle. Because if this was 7 years ago, Jimmy and Dre and Steph and Clay and all of them would have went crazy together.
And then you get like little injuries here and there that, stop the actual full
So,
mold of
so,
things.
so when LeBron got hurt in the playoffs and Tatum got hurt in the playoffs, that wasn't affecting the way their team was getting manhandled in their series. When Steph Curry got hurt, you immediately saw that it affected the team and changed the dynamic of the entire series, especially simply because it happened in game one.
And
We won the game that he only played like 8% of. We still won it. All he needed to do was actually play in the game, and we won. Every other game after that he did not play, we lost. That's a direct result of him not playing. LeBron played in every single game up to when he got hurt. His team was already going to lose. Tatum played in every game up to when he got hurt. His team was losing. They were on the verge of getting knocked out. The next game, his team was able to win without him. And then the following game after that, they got bumped. So his injury didn't affect how his team was getting manhandled. The Knicks were manhandling Boston. The Timberwolves.
Brown was hurt too, no?
Technically, yes, because he was playing through his injury. And then Minnesota was manhandling the Lakers in their series, but they weren't manhandling us.
I like that.
He's a great player, but he can't let what happened. He can't let what happened to OKC happen. See. What happened with Timberwolves and OKC, I feel like that was a Detroit Pistons, which is OKC, and Minnesota, which was Chicago Bulls. Think about this analogy. Do you see that analogy? That OKC had too many players doing their job at a high level. Minnesota's their personnel can't handle that. Their personnel. You know what I mean? Not saying that their team. So same thing with Chicago.
They didn't live up to their expectations.
Detroit had a personnel that was elite at what they do, and in every position. Chicago Bulls didn't have that. We weren't elite in every single position, especially the starting five. If you just take the starting five of OKC and the starting five, OKC's starting five is elite, dynamic, athletic. They're everything. I'm glazing them too much. Like, why am I, you know what I mean?
Because they're playing spectacular ball, and they only deserve it, right? So
True.
They're well deserved of this championship that they might conquer in the next few days. So.
And so is Indiana. Once you unfold their story, if you don't know about Indiana, and you unfold this season, you're
they're like
oh.
the silent assassins right now.
Yeah.
Which is good for them. A lot of, they proved a lot of people wrong. But anyway,
I still don't see them doing like a multi-year run of this.
Oh, of course not.
I don't see
It's just like a one-hit wonder, right?
Yeah, kind of. And no disrespect.
Yeah.
No disrespect.
But
I don't see.
They would have to dominate next year and dominate the following year.
Yeah, and I don't see that.
And now unless they get big, heavy hitters and
because Cleveland is going to come back stronger. Orlando, you got young teams like Orlando, Detroit. So I don't. Houston on the west side, you got Houston, and Memphis is going to try to claw back. But
Memphis is probably going to try to rebuild.
Yeah, they're going to rebuild for sure. But and then of course you got Minnesota because they're not old. You know what I mean? So.
And then Clippers got to find their way.
Clippers got to find that's like a veteran team.
New York got to find a new coach.
Denver got to.
Dallas got to find somebody.
No, but Dallas has got Cooper Kupp coming.
Yeah, but.
So you got Cooper Kupp, Kyrie, Clay, and they still got their young big men.
And Kyrie will be coming back from injury, but then you don't know who their coach is going to be. They want to talk to Jason Kidd, and I don't know what that's about. So there's a lot of weird stuff that happens.
So that's our sports take on today's episode, and then what?
Just like stuff that is coming out, like in the movies.
You want to go into entertainment? Let's focus on our next. I don't really know what's coming out.
Already have came out or whatever.
On Netflix?
Yeah.
Like what? Like
Genie and Georgia. That's a top to watch.
Yeah, but they're like on their finale season.
No, that's season 3. They're gonna come out with another one.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Stranger Things is ending. That hasn't dropped yet. Stranger Things season 4 is a
Squid
finale.
Games is coming out
And
with
isn't that the
another one.
finale too, or no?
I don't watch that. My daughter
Me either.
does, but
Yeah, me either.
I'm not into that stuff.
But
I
I'm
watch
talking about big.
BMF. That's
talking-
out. I
But
watch
that's- Raising Cain.
Cain. I watched that.
Are they ending or
they
they still
ended
going?
already, and then BMF just started.
And then the award shows that happen.
Well, the Tonys just happened. That
And-
basically gives homage to Broadway,
Broadway shows.
And,
There was a big Hamilton
Yes.
ceremonial thing.
yes,
Did they
big
paid
deal,
homage?
Yes. And then
I think who hosted it? The woman from Wicked, right?
yes.
From
Oh,
Morena.
She's
She's
phenomenal.
British? English? British?
I'm not too sure,
Don't-
but she's
I like her.
she's like
I love her accent.
so yes.
And I love the way she's I think she's genuine at
meshes
who she
with people,
is.
Yeah.
But she's genuine, she don't change,
No,
she
no.
don't
And you shouldn't.
with that
Her costume was-
that skin ball, me and her could talk about it.
Her costumes were, her dresses were the bomb. Her
Her outfits.
yeah, enthusiasm with the
What's that
crowd.
called again? No, I mean it's called outfits, but what did they do when they
wardrobe?
a wardrobe? A wardrobe for the whole thing was pretty dope. And then obviously Hamilton did their thing, and then who else was there though? Like
Everybody
how
was
did you did you see the red carpet part of it?
Not so much. I watched the show,
So,
they,
how were they
just
dressed?
show like
Were they dressed alright? Like everybody looked dapper?
yeah, everybody looked dapper, and then because there's Broadway shows that are. I don't.
Prestigious?
Obviously, we're not in New York to go to Broadway to see these shows, but there's all these different types of shows that were getting, nominated, and they had like clips and stuff of them, and just interesting.
The vibe looked good. You know, all of that. Like,
And that was the first time I ever seen them. I know of the Tony Awards, I know what they're about, but because my
to
daughter.
actually watch that stuff.
Yeah, like to actually watch the award
because
shows.
of our daughter.
Yeah, she likes Hamilton and she likes all those Broadway kind of.
So she watched it from the beginning to the end with you?
Yeah,
So
and then they do
watched it with
snippets
her?
of stuff that is currently happening in Broadway now, and the fact that Broadway is back
Is there
on
any new
Broadway
shows that
because
you
of
know of
COVID and shit
that they
like that.
mentioned? Or
No, there's like new titles, new shows. A lot of stuff has to do with different sexuality kind of plays, which was great too because people.
And then like a week or so later was the BET Awards.
Yeah,
You said
I
you
saw
got to see
I
that?
got to see that.
I caught a little bit of the red carpet. I saw that one for sure. The look was dapper. Everybody was very beautiful. They had they paid homage to
Well,
old
it's 25 years of hip hop, right?
25 years of BET Awards, but it was the 45th anniversary of BET in general.
Yeah, so they're honoring like old school platform shows and like
Yeah, I think it
106
actually-
and Park and stuff like that.
They literally started it off from like the 90s. The show started off with performances with songs from like 94. And it was pretty dope. Especially if you old heads like us, we probably really enjoyed that. So even Bow Wow came out. He ended that beginning.
Yeah, his daughter was on the red carpet too.
Oh, that was before the show. That was
Yeah. And they messed up her wardrobe.
They did? I didn't see that.
Yeah, so
What do you mean, like something like
So
a
she
wardrobe
was-
mishap?
So she had this dress on, and the original one didn't have a slit. And if you looked at the red carpet, and when he was interviewing her and stuff like that, like the dress that she had on had like an inappropriate split. She's only like
15?
yeah. So, but that's not what was shown to moms. In the wardrobe.
No, I think it's more like that, because I don't think. Oh no, because Baba said mom's dropped her off for the summer.
Well, yeah, so she
Yeah.
has it for summer, but still, so now they're getting backlash on allowing their child to walk out like that.
It's funny. So that's one problem that I didn't know of.
Yeah.
If I go to Mr. Casanat, who also was a big
Yeah, I
part
heard
of
like a little rant he was saying about
his
something
friend.
about BET.
It's not to him. He has all his, remember, he has a team.
Yeah.
So one of his team members, his name is Ty Little, was on the red carpet with his niece with the pass that you can only get from someone who has high standards, status, a la Kai Cenat, right? And he's on there, and he was approached by someone, a woman, who said that his niece can't be on the red carpet because she's not famous.
Yeah, baby.
That's crazy, right?
You gotta be famous to be famous.
So she was like, they were like, you know
How
what?
about you start
He was
from
like, what do you
nothing?
mean? He was like, I was given this pass by someone with status. Like, that's the only way I could get this pass. When finally Kai Cenat came, instantly everything changed. Everybody's attitude changed. And they started like, bowing down kind of to Kai Cenat, and that's foul because he has his pass on. And not only that, but Ty Little promoted BET. He worked with BET.
That's crazy.
So how do you treat someone you work with
Like crap.
like, not like crap, they didn't treat him like crap, but they were telling him, look, you need to leave. So he was just like, he didn't even bring up that he was an employee, like he worked not an employee. Let me bring that back. He wasn't an employee, he worked hand in hand with them to promote the BET Awards. Like it's someone you worked with. How do you not know that? It is crazy because now he's on national and then he's streaming. So now he's on a world platform.
Boosting your ratings at the same time, and you're not recognized.
And on his platform, you're telling him he can't be here.
That's crazy.
He's in a suit and tie, and his daughter's dressed up. Eventually, though, all that shit ended when Kai Cenat came, and him and his niece met everybody. It was beautiful. They met and took pictures with everybody. You know what I mean? And it's funny how politics is like that. You know what I mean? Because it's weird. But it's you saying BET needs a workers meeting? Probably. But with that being said, we want to wrap this episode of Everything Obsolete up. You already know that's your girl Jay Blaze. I'm Bobby Summers. We catch you on another one. Y'all be good.
Once again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on socials and all available platforms. See you next when no topics are safe on the Everything Obsolete podcast.
The opinions and views of this podcast are strictly those of the host and guests and should not be replaced for help seeked out by individuals.